In this episode, we'll meet a native of Guyana who is making life more comfortable for visitors to Linden. We'll explore medicinal plants.
Well, for medicinal purposes, we tend to swallow through these every day.
Here's more money plants.
This is the variety with the green leaves instead of the brown. The last one you saw, the leaves were brown.
Okay,
it's the same flower.
So this one will give you more money, or because it's green, because the green is more money. We'll look at existentialism and the Guyanese people.
It's the land of the water people, and it gives a different meaning. You know, that we understand water, we believe in water, we can use water, and we accept the water.
He'll also help us answer a pinnacle question. Should a Guyanese who obtains citizenship in America consider themselves an American, a Guyanese, or something else entirely? Join us as we explore the new Guyana. But first, help us out by liking and subscribing to this channel so we can continue bringing you authentic content from Guyana.
The name of it is Hyacinth. That's my mother's name, and she is very as Sister Copeland. They were friends, and they're very loving, caring. Really epitomizes what Christians should be like. So I give it the name because we wanted, when you come, you must feel the same kind of acceptance and nurturing as if she was here.
Welcome. Right now we are at a bed and breakfast in Linden. It is so beautiful. I am with Samuel Wright right now, and he's going to tell us all about it. He is the owner of this bread and breakfast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good.
And if you could tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about what your bread and breakfast has to offer.
Actually, this spot is where I grew up, and so everything about the yard that nurtured me. And what you're seeing in the background is stuff I learned from my parents, and so I guess I'm a product of Linden, and so I'm just kind of, after traveling around and working overseas a lot, I came back, but there's always a sense that I was coming back to Guyana, and I came back to the spot where I was raised, so it's very special to me.
This looks like such a special place because the first time I saw it, I just said, this is so therapeutic.
Yes.
With all the plants and the greenery. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you decided to open up a bread and breakfast in Linden and how this relates to the concept?
One thing is that when I lived overseas, we operated a bed and breakfast overseas in Glen Island, California. And so when I came back to Guyana, because most of my siblings are away, I wanted to create a space that reflects my experience and knowledge, but also have a place where when they come to Guyana, they have a comfortable place. Because a lot of times when you leave Guyana and you come back, it's almost like a step down in accommodations and comfort. So I wanted something that when my siblings came back, they can live just as comfortably as when we're living overseas.
What are some things that are comfortable about this place? And maybe what we can do a little later is go through the
but what's comfort is that if you go up, the space. The whole idea that you're being nurtured by the space, it's pleasing to the eye, and if, for example, if you go to the side there's a little pond, the soakaway pond, so there's a water element in the yard. My thinking, from my background as an engineer, is that the biggest element in Linden is water, and so anything we do, to be successful in Linden, to settle, whether it's a house or whatever, you have to consider the water, because water is ubiquitous. It's everywhere in Linden.
It's the land of many waters.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, and there's another explanation. Instead of the land of many waters, it's the land of the water people, and it gives a different meaning. You know, that we understand water, we believe in water, we can use water, and we accept the water. So I like that better. The land of many waters as land of the water people.
Okay, and because you're basically coming from these riverine communities,
exactly,
and you learn how to use the water as like a lifeline in a way.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what happened in Linden is that if you go anywhere in Linden, the water is moving. The creeks are moving, the springs are moving, and so in a way, we in Linden almost have to step aside for the water to pass. And when we get in the way of the water, we run into trouble. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so is that one of the main features of Linden, Guyana? Is the water, the pull of the water?
Yes.
Is that one of the compelling reasons to be in Linden, for someone who maybe
I think if
was
you
thinking about coming?
if you come to Linden, just get in contact with the water. There's springs, there are creeks, there are ponds, there's all kinds of stuff, and just get in touch with that, and you'll be okay.
Sounds really great.
Yeah.
Now, what is your vision for this area, for this location?
For this location,
Yeah, like poetry, I think you might have mentioned, or what is really your vision in order to help within the therapeutic realm of coming to visit? Like, the greenery is wonderful, but how do you engage with the arts here as well?
we have big pieces of art upstairs. When you come, you see it. But also it's introducing people to the elements that are here, and to be like have the art, make art out of your surroundings and the things. So like even leaves or plants or the various materials that are around. There's a lot of wood in Guyana, great woods. So again, that can be used as part of art. Yeah.
Okay, and then how long have you relocated to the area?
I think I've kind of relocated here for about 12 years ago.
And are you happy to have done so?
I'm happy to have come back because I like Linden, I like the continuity. And there's little things like I might see a child walking down the street and somehow, like the way they walk, I can tell who their grandparents were. So I like that.
Walk.
Yeah, because there's certain families have certain mannerisms and it comes down through the line. So
Wait, is that small of a community that you can look at the way they walk? And
remember this community is of immigrants. We all came from someplace else. My parents came from Buxton, and so
because of the bauxite. Right?
Because of the bauxite.
Company,
So a lot of people, because remember, it's growing. I went to Mackenzie High School, and when I went to Mackenzie High School, there were only 150 people in high school, 150 students in high school. So then you know everybody,
And you can tell who they are based on how they walk.
Yeah,
you can identify what
and certain
family.
faces, face structures, and things like that. You can see it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what family do I belong to?
Well, you're not from Linden.
Oh, you gave it away. By marriage only. By marriage only.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So, there's a lot of changes and developments that are occurring in Guyana at this time. How would you see yourself as a part of the new Guyana, the thriving Guyana, the Guyana that's on the move? How would you say that you have personally benefited? It doesn't have to be financially, but even with that momentum that's occurring.
One of the things for me is that I'm in my 70s. Okay, and it means that I don't have many years left. That's the reality of it. So I asked them the question, what role do I play now? Because my time is spent. I've done a lot of things, but it is spent. So at this age, where I'm looking to the end of the run, how do I take the time to encourage young people? Do I take the time to, because this is the idea. It refers me to Africans in Guyana. Slavery was abolished 150 years ago, or something like that. So it means that we have 150 years of knowledge passed after slavery. But my thinking is, if we have that knowledge of 150 years past, we can project 150 years in the future. So now, if we start, so at 70, now if I'm projecting forward, I wouldn't be around. But what do I want? What would I like to see? If somewhere wherever I am, 50 years from now, what would I like to see if I look back at Linden or Guyana? Those are the kind of things that keep me busy these days.
That's an interesting concept. I've never heard it said like that. So if you look 150 years into the past, you should be able to look 150 years into the future and see where you belong within the realm of what you envision for yourself.
And what would you like for the people who are still here, and who are coming up when you're gone?
And this is what you would like for the people who
Yes.
are still here.
Yes.
And tell us some of the other work. I think you're doing some other work as well. Would you like to share some of the other things you're doing, maybe within Guyana, just in terms of any community work or anything you're doing for the larger, greater community?
What I do, one of the things I got very much interested in is riverfront development. And so in order to promote riverfront, because we didn't have the awareness of the riverfront as being a special place, it's just a place we had. And if you notice, a lot of parts of Guyana in Linden, people's houses do not face the river because it's not a part of them. You know, a lot of people were afraid of the river because they may have come from Buxton, where you're accustomed to a trench rather than a big river. So my parents tended to have a kind of this fear of the river because it was too big.
You're Buxtonian.
Yeah, I'm Buxtonian.
Okay,
yes,
what does
yes.
that mean?
Because I go to Buxton, like I was in Buxton recently, and at the Church of God, and I saw on the wall my grandfather was one of the first deacons of the church. So those are the connections that I love to have. Yes.
Deep connections.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So because people are not positioned near the river, what does that do for them? Like, how is it at a disadvantage if they're not positioned near a river?
Well, they're positioned near the river. They just don't embrace the river.
Oh, okay.
You know, and for example, the indigenous Indians, children at 4 or 5 years are swimming, while African or Indo-Guyanese, they don't have the same relationship with the water.
Yeah. They might not know how to swim.
They might not know how to swim. I mean, there's a lot of adults I know who do not know how to swim, but it's unheard of for people who live with so much creeks and waters and waterfalls and ponds and can't swim. It's the separation.
That does seem strange.
Yeah,
and then there's constant, there's constant travel on the boat landings and all of that.
If you ask many people, name 5 different types of fish, they can't. But it's all around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are a returnee. You were in the United States and
yes.
you came to Guyana. I know that takes a lot of courage because, there's so many things that are attractive and overseas and, so many accommodations that you can have that maybe you don't get in Guyana. You could have easily have stayed in California and lived probably a pretty good life. You have retirement, I'm sure. Yeah. It could have worked out really well for you in the United States. So what would you say was the draw that made you come back?
I never left. Okay. I never left Guyana. I mean, to me, I was on a journey of exploration, all the places I've been, and I've covered a lot of ground. It was always like, for example, I remember being in California, in Humboldt, in those places, and there's white sands, and it reminds me of Wismar. So I'm always looking for something where I am to remind me of where I came from. Okay. So in New Orleans, the Mississippi River, there's a connection to the Demerara River. So I was always making those connections wherever I am. So in a sense, I never left Guyana. Even though I lived other places, I never left Guyana.
My soul grows deep like the river. I'm thinking Langston Hughes now.
Langston Huges. Yes,
okay,
yes,
beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing. It looks like the rain is coming.
Right.
But before we leave, could you just take me through your garden and show us a bit?
Yeah. It's a Joseph's coat.
This is called the Joseph coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is a very interesting one. It's called a snake plant. It's very popular right now.
Snake.
But it's also called mother-in-law's tongue.
Mother-in-law's tongue and snake. Snake plant. Okay. Those are interesting names.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do those names come from, though?
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
There's a snake plant. That's the. If you go anywhere where there are plants, it's called a snake plant.
Okay.
It's been recorded. The people are saying right now that it purifies the air. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Mother-in-law's tongue. Right there we go. No insult to the mother-in-laws, of course.
But I wonder why is it because it looks like a flame or something? I don't know.
We'll have to use our imaginations to figure it out. You have a really nice arch here too. This is beautiful.
So this arch, like I said, it was a big sapodilla tree, and it fell.
Okay.
And so what I did, I just kind of cut off the branches, and I do love the arch. And all of these are these plants, these succulents.
Sapos?
So, yeah, you see this,
Okay.
all these, and these vines, and they're naturally growing. So I just enjoy them.
Oh, and I see you're growing some banana there.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, it's beginning to get ripe. You see, it's beginning
Oh,
to get yellow.
excellent.
So,
Okay.
you know,
Very nice.
what I normally do with it though, with our bananas, we wait until the birds start to eat them before I cut it.
Oh, then you know it's ripe.
And then I
right?
know it's ripe. Yeah.
That's a strategy.
Yeah, okay.
I notice there's a lot of emphasis on birds in Guyana.
Yes.
I don't know if there's any way that you incorporate birds too into your, other than that.
But they come, you know,
Yeah,
but because of the
okay.
space, they come, you know, and this here, you see this pond here, it's really a soakaway.
Okay.
And so my thinking is you have to make space for the water, as I said before. So when there's a heavy rainfall, it fills the water. It's so I can hold the water without flooding the land. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's called a soakaway.
A
you said?
soakaway. So because
Soakaway, okay.
as the rain stops falling, it soaks into the earth.
My mother,
Mm-hmm.
she loved plants, and in our house, at every angle that you would turn, there would be some kind of a plant there.
yes.
And for some reason, I love to see plants. I just don't engage with growing them and all that. That's the thing my mom did. So
This is called a money plant.
money.
Yes.
Okay.
Supposedly
So-
it helps to bring money to you. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Do you have to rub the leaf or
I don't know.
money?
Money plant, yeah. And we have another variety of it that's the leaves are green. Same kind of flower, but the
Okay.
leaves are green.
Okay. That's bring the money plant here as well. Okay. I think you have that, and then there's a mother-in-law
Mother-in-law
tongue
tongue, yes.
right there again. Okay, very good. Callaloo is very delicious.
Yes, yes.
Callaloo is so delicious.
Yes, this is a bird. It's called a bird. We call it a bird pepper. Actually, a cayenne pepper. And reason why probably call it a bird pepper because the birds eat it. The birds come and they get to eat
Oh,
it.
okay, and it's
Yeah.
so tiny. It looks like
It's
a
hot. It's very hot pepper.
very hot.
Yes,
The
yes.
jalapeno
Yes, yeah.
peppers. Okay, so you don't want to eat that.
Well,
you touch it too.
But actually,
probably.
for medicinal purposes, you tend to like swallow 2 of these every day.
For medicinal purposes, if you swallow 2 every day.
Yes, but most of the older folks will tell you that. You know,
Okay.
Or you swallow 2 bird peppers in the morning, and it tends to make you a healthy stomach, and also tends to attack any kind of bacteria or so within your system.
Oh, if only you could deal with the heat.
Well, actually, because you don't chew it, you swallow.
Oh,
But
okay, so you don't have to deal
You
with it.
might get a hit of the heat, but it wouldn't burn as if you chewed. I wouldn't chew it to burn.
Okay, excellent, thank you. That's medicinal purposes. So it helps with the stomach,
Yes, yes.
stomach issues. Okay, thank you. Excellent.
And this thing is something we did a couple days ago. It's a pineapple.
Okay, this here is a pineapple tree?
Yeah, but we reaped the pineapple a couple of days ago, and I have to throw this away. And you see those little ones there? We're going to plant those.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yes.
so you plant those.
Yes.
Okay. So you just really have just like a sanctuary here.
For us, yes, it is.
And but your guests can come out
Oh,
and
yes.
they can just
Yes.
walk around freely
Sure.
and really enjoy the area.
I really enjoy this.
I enjoy
I'm
it
talking
as
about
well.
what we're trying to. And remember, I told you about the money plant.
Yeah, the money plant. Here's more money plants.
This is the variety with the green leaves instead of the brown. The last one you saw, the leaves were brown.
okay,
It's the same
okay.
flower.
So this one will give you more money, or because it's green. Because the green is more money. Okay, got it. Get the concept.
Yeah. This is a fern.
Okay, this is the fern.
Fern.
Okay.
Actually, I call it the mother fern because actually my mother was her plant originally. I was normally used to be upstairs in the house, but I brought it downstairs and put it down.
Okay, personalized mother fern.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, wonderful.
And then you have a smaller one there.
Oh, this one here.
That's a maidenhair fern. That's a smaller variety of fern. It's called Maiden Hair Fern.
So it's really your parents that
Yes.
gave you this
Yes.
vast interest in
Yes.
planting.
My mother always had plants. My father was much of a farmer. The older folks, like older than I am, always had plants in house plants. He's always had house plants.
Okay.
You go to houses, all kinds of house plants, and people would exchange plants and things like that.
So that's a Guyanese tradition,
Well,
having house plants
yes,
in the house?
that's at least I don't see it as much anymore, but growing up, everybody had house plants. You have plant stands and plant pots and all that stuff. Yeah.
And I don't
Sure.
know if you want to give your information to those people who are watching who might want
Okay.
to come through at some point.
Yeah, Hyacinth's Bed and Breakfast in Linden. We are on Airbnb. We are on Google Earth. So our telephone number is 694-592 is the area code, 694-6350. And you can get us at those numbers.
Our time here is not over yet. We'll hear more words of wisdom from Wright as we tour the inside. Oh, look at over here. It's even more. This is really lush. Oh my God, this is lush. This is like a paradise. So this is really a comfortable place. We're talking about comfort.
Yes.
And I'm hoping you can just like kind of take us through and tell us a little bit about the space
Yeah,
you provided.
Well, this is a sitting area, and so we try to arrange it so people can be comfortable. You can meet and have conversations. Of course, here's the mother-in-law tongue again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I like the green
Yes.
color and the color spectrum is also ties in with the nature theme very well.
Yes, yeah. And the rooms, that room, it's called Sweet William.
Sweet William.
Because
Okay.
named after my father. My father's name was William.
Oh,
So we
that's
call the room
beautiful.
Sweet William. And this
Okay.
room is it's called Queen Esther, after my sister, my youngest
So
sister.
what do
Esther.
these names have to do with the personalities?
But-
Sweet William and Queen
Well,
Esther.
I remember my father would sometimes he's telling me about his life, and there's a sense that you have to, and that you have to have a certain amount of sweetness about you. So I call it Sweet William just in honor of him. You know.
Okay.
And this is Queen Esther. My youngest sister's name is Esther. But remember, from the Bible, Queen Esther was a Jewish person that helped to save the people, her people, by dealing with, I remember the name of the king, Nathan, something like that. So we normally call our sister Queen. Her name is Esther, but we normally call her Queen. So this room is called Queen Esther. So when you come, you can say, well, you can stay in Queen Esther or Sweet William.
Okay, so biblical references.
Yes, yes.
And your father, you have to add a lot of some kind of sweetness.
Yes, yeah.
The sweetness reminds me of something that Maya Angelou said when she talked about sweet talk.
Yes.
She said black people have something that's called like sweet talk.
Yes.
So instead of just like saying hello, they say hey baby, or something like that. Like they add some emphasis and some warmth to it.
Yes,
so,
yes, yes.
so that's really nice to hear.
Yeah, and I find myself adapting that. I guess it comes with age. I would say, hey, come dear, and it doesn't. It's just like they're dear to somebody, So I would say, come dear, and just give them that sense of you're special.
That's really nice. I love that. Thank you.
And that painting up there, rather from California, and a painter, she was just practicing, and she was about to throw it away, so I just bought it. And it reminds me of this one reminds me so much of my grandmother. Her name was Sylvina.
Sylvina, okay.
Yeah.
What about the bamboo?
Somehow I got this cut for some other reason, and I just put it up there because I like bamboo. This has been in the family since when I came, and I used to use it for the martyr. They used to make fufu, You know fufu with plantain?
Yes.
With pumpkin
Yeah,
plantain
I've had
and with
fufu a time or
yes.
two.
Okay. So this represents for me the soul of the family. This is the heart of the family. So now that the idea is that when I pass on or before then, we hand it to some member of the family who we think can hold it, who feel like represents the heart, the soul of the family. So it's going to go to somebody. So wherever this is represents the soul of the family, or the heart of the family, the center of the family. So, so we're going to pass it on to somebody. We haven't decided yet, but that's
so thoughtful.
Yeah.
That's so thoughtful, and I'm wondering what you're telling me is like it's almost like you're planning a lot for the time that you feel like you have left, but not only with yourself, but also with your family in mind.
Yes.
And it's just I'm wondering where that comes from. Is that just something particular to your family? Like
I think it's just from my awareness, my travel and exploration of ideas and spirituality, and the fact is, I say, death and taxes are certain. Certainly, death is certain, and this might be our last conversation. This, and we have no control over that. Mm. So then it tells me that I have to pay attention to you when we talk. I have to really share myself with you because I may not see you again. Even though I want to, it's not guaranteed. So I have to when I meet folks, I have to engage you because I don't know what will happen the next minute. So the same way, you have to plan.
I've heard it said that.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So it has to pass on. And what I take the hope now, again, when I'm gone, if I can look back, I'll see this in somebody's house. Yeah. And somebody making fufu or something like that, or referring to my grandfather or my grandmother. So that represents the continuity.
Okay, so it could also have a utilitarian purpose, like they
Yes.
could actually use it for fufu, or it could just be a piece of art.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Or,
And, you could on some seeds. It's a lot of herbs. People using herbs more and more again. So this can be still be used as a functional. It still can be functional in that sense. You got a great shot looking down into the courtyard.
Oh,
I think
that's
that'd be a
lovely.
good shot.
Okay, we're gonna come in.
Because the trees are no longer here, you're feeling the breezes more.
Yes.
Yes, it's much more breeze coming through.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I do feel that it's very breezy.
Yes, and if the big tree was there, you wouldn't have been feeling it.
Okay,
Wow.
and it's the kind of breeze that you associate with the Caribbean.
Yes,
It's just really flowing well.
When the place is hot, you come out here with
Yes,
some
yes.
lemonade and
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I've never been more excited about touring a bed and breakfast. I asked earlier if a Guyanese should consider themselves American, Guyanese, or something else entirely when residing in the United States extensively. Wright has proven that it's one's heart and not governmental body that has the final say in the matter of nationality. Oh, Papa.
Well, I said papaya, but I guess it.
Oh, how do you pronounce it?
I said papaya, but it's very papaya.
Oh, papaya. Oh, sorry, I haven't learned the fruit too well here yet, but papaya. Okay, all right. So, so tell us. I'm sure the Guyanese would know what to do with the papaya and the taste of it, but could you tell us a little bit more?
Well, it's very thin skin. You just cut it and eat the orange flesh inside. It has lots. Don't eat the seeds, of course.
Yeah.
But it's it's great.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've had it before. It's really delicious.
Yes.
I have not eaten so many fruits until I met a Guyanese man.
Right,
And since then,
right.
I've had so many fruits, so many
Sure.
juices, just delicious food. So it really is accommodating even for vegans like myself.
You know what goes good with this is when I pick the bananas when they're ripe, I would freeze them, and then I would make a smoothie with papaya and the frozen banana. You don't have to put ice in it because it's already frozen.
It's already frozen.
And you have to put any sugar or anything like that.
And it doesn't tear up the blender even though it's frozen.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay,
Yeah, the
okay.
frozen bananas. Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much.
And we look forward to having you We're having dinner sometime next week.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Good.
I'm all for eating dinner meals with great company, so
Sure,
thank
yes,
you.
we have a nice. Probably invite another couple or so we can have some nice conversation or so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I'm going to be looking forward to until it happens.
Sure, yes, good.
Thank you.
Sure. Good luck.
Okay, so you have my information, I
Yes,
have
I
yours,
have,
and then
yes,
we'll
yes.
continue to communicate.
Sure.
Okay then, all right, thank you. Honoring your parents by putting their name on your business. Transforming your childhood home into a space of comfort and quiet luxury. Using skills gained abroad to help shape a stronger, more welcoming Guyana. This is the new Guyana. Remember to help us out by liking, clicking the subscribe button below, and making a comment so we can provide you with even better, authentic content from Guyana. Can you mention the bird part again? You said they're so high.
The papaya tree, it's so high that we don't have a stick to get to them. But we agreed that the birds must have some of the fruit. So we allow them to get ripe, and the birds would come and eat them, and that's right.